story is a fleeting time, precious and unique. But some stand out as moments of beginning, in which courses are set that shape decades or centuries. This can be such a moment. What kind of a nation we will be, what kind of a world we will live in, whether we shape the future in the image of our hopes, is ours to determine by our actions and our choices.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Coming up a little bit later, the Grassroots Citizen Panel. But first, a stunning ruling by a Los Angeles County judge last week when he ruled that teachers' tenure infringed upon the rights of students and prevented students of lower income means of getting a quality education. A stunning defeat to the Teachers Labor Union. Join me in studio to comment on this is Susan Oygar, legal analyst.
Hello.
Good to see you, Susan. And from Washington, D.C. is Patrice Lee, with a senior fellow with the Independent Women's Forum. Good to see you, Patrice.
Good to see you as well.
All right, let's start with our legal analyst, Susan Oygar. Susan, first of all, why this judge based the decision on what?
Basically, he was looking at the Equal Protection Clause, and in the state of California, students have a constitutional fundamental right to education. And when you're looking at, we have a last in, first out rule, and this basically tenure that teachers are getting after 18 months of being on the job, they're granting tenure to these teachers. And with this last in, first out, and if you're an accountant, it might make sense, but in education, LIFO system doesn't make sense because you're getting a disproportionate amount of teachers with high turnover rates in minority populations. So what the judge looked at, and the students put on some really great evidence, $1.4 million is what was shown that these students who are in these minority areas where are being affected, they're losing $1.4 million in lifetime earnings. That's astounding.
So as the judge said, look, by teachers, poor performing, lousy teachers, lousy workers, being in the workforce, teaching these students, they are adversely affecting the education of the student.
They are. There's some 8,000 in the state of California, 8,000 grossly ineffective teachers. That's not to say that the majority of our teachers are doing an excellent job, but the state of California was saying, no, you have to blame this on the district. It's poor management. You cannot do that. I mean, I think that's the state of California basically saying that we're promoting incompetence, and I don't stand for that, and I think the judge really got it right.
All right, Patrice Lee, I know this had to shock a lot of folks like yourself who live outside of California, saying, look, the liberal California, a judge ruled against the teachers union. What sort of impact might you see this have across America?
Well, I think this is a great opportunity for ed reformers to kind of take this across the country. You can target states that have large teachers unions, but also have had failed attempts to reform their education systems in these ways, like New York, New Jersey. You know, you can go to the middle of the country. But I think it's a really great opportunity now to prove that, you know what, we can stand up against some of these policies that are really providing our students with the wrong kind of education.
Suzanne, what happens next?
Well, there's definitely the ruling is actually put on a stay. So by saying that these laws are unconstitutional, nothing's really changed at the moment. We've got to wait for the process to play out. I certainly would imagine that, you know, the state of California and the union are going to be appealing this process, so it'll take it up to the California Appellate Circuit, and we'll see how it plays out. It could advance then to the, you know, our state Supreme Court, and if there's any federal issue at play, maybe we'll go out into the United States Supreme Court.
And when you say unconstitutional, I should clarify, unconstitutional according to the state of California.
Correct. To this California state constitution,
right,
correct.
Right. We'll come back to Patrice. A similar, related question to my previous one, Patrice. I mean, a lot of Americans do not like to hear this, and I understand why, but oftentimes it's true. As California goes, so goes America. I would think that this is a trend that we're about to see, that more and more states are going to challenge the grip which teachers unions have on tenure.
Well, that's right. what's interesting is that this is supported by both those on the right and the left. So this is not an ideological issue. This is an issue about education for our young people. And this year we celebrated the 50th anniversary of Brown versus the Board of Education. And you're talking about students who are still receiving unequal education in this country. That's not acceptable. So I think you will continue to see new states kind of jump on board and education reform sweep other states.
Patrice makes a great point. There aren't many issues that appeal to both the left and the right.
What other occupation can you think of where after 18 months on the job you get, you know,
it's ridiculous.
Carte blanche, hey, tenure. That's ridiculous. As a lawyer, I certainly don't get that. Do our pilots get that? Do our anchors get that? No. So you know, let's have an equal playing field. Let's get rid of this big union and have an equal playing field. I think it's a great decision.
It is a great decision. We don't see many like those out of California.
We don't.
And we'll keep an eye on this one. All right, Suzanne Oygar and Patrice Lee, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Iraq, immigration, and the LGBT. We're discussing that.